let's talk about zombie films. You know, I love zombie films.
I love zombie films.
And you know what I'm saying, it got a whole with with the release with the Night of the Living Dead and the George Romero's, and you know this is the time where zombie films are like at their highest right now. And I have to, and let's just talk about zombies. I mean, what do you think is a general good zombie flick? We're not talking about The Walking Dead, because everybody know The Walking Dead is like A1. It's like, it's kind of like the Heath Ledger Joker was like the definitive story of, you know, zombies. You know, but what do you want to see when you see a zombie movie?
Well, in a zombie movie, and I'd probably have to go back to one of my favorite zombie movies from back in the day, Dawn of the Dead.
The original or the remake?
The remake.
Okay, yeah. Good fucking movie.
Because that's just how I feel like that movie really kind of personified what a true zombie apocalypse would probably be like. I don't think that they would have all these crazy regenerative powers or mutation powers the way that they're depicted in Resident Evil. Not saying Resident Evil's bad, I love Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But in a natural zombie apocalypse, the way I'm picturing it, just by going off what the virus could possibly be like, and most likely would be like, I see it really depicting what Dawn of the Dead brought to the table.
I think Dawn of the Dead did the best when it came to when it actually happens. A lot of films like 28 Days Later, I want to say like State of Emergency, kind of the George Romero movies. They're all depicted like, is Dawn of the Dead one of George Romero movies?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I don't know, but a lot of the George Romero movies, when it usually takes place after the fact. Even The Walking Dead kind of took place after the fact. You never really seen it go down. But you got movies like World War Z, like what happens when it first jumps off. It was good. Dawn of the Dead showed it when it was like jumping off, and I kind of like that. As far as zombies, what movie you think did like because there's two types of zombies. You have the dead zombies and you have the infected zombies. And infected or technically living, they just like fucked up.
Well, that was definitely Resident Evil. I think that took that one. Because if you look at the Resident Evil movies and the Resident Evil games, a lot of the times you're actually fighting a lot of infecteds. Like Resident Evil 4, you were fighting a bunch of infecteds.
Ganados, yeah, that's what they're called, Ganados or something like that. I'm saying it wrong, most likely.
Say gelatos.
Gelatos. But yeah, I think, like you said, with Dawn of the Dead, I think that Dawn of the Dead, World War Z, and even 28 Days Later, they, I believe, did the best infected incarnations of zombies. And as far as dead, I would say Resident Evil.
I would say Resident Evil really personified what zombies would become if the government stepped in and tried to use them for their own nefarious purposes.
Yeah. Don't do it, government. Out of all 100 scenarios where mankind got wiped out, I think you were responsible for at least 98 of them.
I think honestly, if there was a zombie apocalypse, the only thing the government should be working on is a cure to the virus. Don't try to take this virus and incubate it into something that you want to try to control, because it's not going to turn out well.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already had a zombie apocalypse. You've got like over 50% of the world's population has been decimated. But no, what you're going to do is you're going to take this virus, incubate it, and try to turn it for your own nefarious purposes. Why would you do that?
And in the process, make it even worse. But yeah, I think, you know, zombie films are actually coming along. Even the low budget ones, like State of Emergency. It wasn't over the top zombie, like strictly zombies and everything, but it was like very more claustrophobic and character based, and I really liked that. Even the movie The Return, it was more of a political stance, and it was more character based, and it was really good.
Honestly, what it seems like is happening these days, so many zombie movies are being made, not just by the big film companies, but also by third party movies that are on like a cookie cutter budget. But they're becoming easier and easier to make, and people see these third-party films on things like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, and they get a pretty big fan base off of it, despite it only being a movie with a low budget. But it's getting to the point where zombie movies are just it's just something that's easy to make. It's easy to produce. It's easy to film. It's easy to come up with a storyline to.
Now that's not to say a lot of the zombie films work. Zombie Apocalypse 2, the zombie movies with Danny Trejo, those movies fucking suck. And they piss me off too, because I'm like, gosh, these movies are that bad. I love zombies, but damn, movies are doing. Anyways.
Well, you can't always win them all.